Welcome to Astro Rahu Channel English. I'm your host Vishal Sathye. Today we are going to discuss for the Aquarius Ascendant what happens when Mars goes in the 12th house in Capricorn. Now here Mars is exalted. Mars is a malefic, exalted in a Dushtana house, and everyone knows that malefics are very good in evil houses, and so this placement is very nice. All this type of literature you'll find when you search for this placement online. But actually I will tell you that no placement on its own is either good or bad. You have to look at the whole Kundli, and that will decide what kind of a placement it is. Now what happens when especially Mars is in the 12th house is that I have seen a very peculiar thing with this, that if you observe the person whose Mars is in the 12th house, observe his eyes. They are continuously searching for something. What happens is 12th house is the subconscious mind, and when a malefic energy such as Mars, which cannot stay in peace, it has to continuously work, and it will not let that person be in peace. It will not allow the subconscious to be at peace. This I have seen. So the eyes are continuously searching for something. So there is a kind of a restlessness in this person, and you have to see the dignity of Mars, how it is. If the dignity is bad, then the restlessness is even more. But if say Mars is not in the lower degrees, it is exalted at say 28 degrees, then the amount, and if Saturn is also well placed, the depositor, then the amount of restlessness is in control. Apart from this, because the 12th house also represents the left eye, so if Mars is not well placed, then there could be some problem in the left eye. Not necessarily some major problem. Say if one has glasses, then it could be that if Mars is not well placed, then the number in the left eye would be more. And from the 12th house we also see the mind. So the second house, the first house, and the 12th house, this represents the head. Mars being situated in the 12th house, there are temper issues sometimes. The individual could be short-tempered, but there is a kind of a confusion in that. The expression of temper, there would be a struggle in that, because what happens, the exalted Mars, the nature of exalted Mars is to say on the face. In the 12th house Mars is there, so he is angry very fast, and he will try to say on the face, that I don't like this. But again, because Mars here is situated in the 12th house, the nature of the 12th house says that no, you don't have to say on the face. So if you are angry, then try to control that anger and only express that when the actual time comes. So there is a kind of a confusion in this. The person is angry, the person wants to say on the face, but the 12th house doesn't allow him to do so. But what happens in this is that when a person is angry with his close ones, then the person will say on the face. And because Mars is in the 12th house, and 12th house is a very sexual house, and an energy like Mars is over here, so this also makes the sexual energy very, the sexual vitality is very nice. And also Mars aspecting the 7th house from here, there is a lot of sexual energy in marriage. And whenever Mars is placed in the 12th house, I've seen people exercising in private, and especially they would like to do exercise with weights, because Mars represents that. And if at all Saturn is powerful, well placed, then this person could also do yoga in private. And while doing yoga, this person will have the capacity to finish off all the asanas very swiftly. Apart from this placement of Mars in 12th house, exalted Mars, the person might also have interest in martial arts and Martian other kinds of arts as well. And whenever Mars is exalted, one thing I also seen that these people are fond of eating non-vegetarian food. And this is especially when it is in the second house actually, but here also that is possible. And because Mars here rules the third house, where there is the Aries sign is very competitive, and because the third lord is situated in the 12th house, so this is a very sensitive position. You have to analyze this very well, because very minutely, because what happens many a times I've seen, there is a competitive relationship with the younger sibling, even though Mars aspects the third house. But because there is a lot of maleficness, because the Aries sign is in the third house and the Lord is Mars, so relations might be a bit competitive and strained at times if the dignity of Mars is not good, or if in the siblings chart the planets are not well placed. And because Mars also aspects the 7th house, so there would be some competitiveness and some control issues in the 7th house as well. This is also more evident for the Aquarius Ascendant, because the Aquarius Ascendant is such, because here the Ascendant Lord is Saturn, while the 7th Lord is Sun. So this thing is actually ingrained in the Aquarius Ascendant. And again, the aspect of Mars on the 7th house even increases the competitiveness or the control issues in marriage. Now here, Mars also rules the 10th house, and there is Scorpio sign in the 10th house. So, and this ascendant being a very scientific one, this Aquarius Ascendant. So many a times I have seen these people going into research, and because here the 10th Lord is exalted in the 12th house, so there are many careers which are possible. Career could be related to research, it can be related to statistical research, or it can also be related to some kind of sports, being Mars the 10th house being exalted in 12th house. But the career would be such where probably the person, when he goes into office, is very busy, in the sense that he enjoys a lot of privacy over there. Like we have big corporations, and there is a lot of security check which one has to go through, and then one enters the office, and office is kind of a private place where probably the person spends a lot of time in isolation, working in isolation. It could be managerial work, but the person could be engrossed in work, and that could probably bring in isolation. Or if the chart is such, then where then the person can also be a jailer or a warden, or this kind of Martian careers are also possible. But there is one very peculiar positive thing in this placement that I have seen, is that because here the 10th lord is exalted in the 12th house, so many a times I have seen these people going to foreign lands and settling over there and gaining a lot of success, monetary success, career success in foreign lands. This I have seen, and once they are in some kind of a far off place, or in they get a job in foreign land, then they become highly successful. This I have seen in many cases. And Mars from here also aspects the 6th house, and there is the debilitation sign Cancer over there, and also in the 10th house there is the sign of Scorpio, which is again a watery sign. So here Mars is exalted, while all the competitive houses, Artha houses and enemy houses, they have watery signs, which, so the enemies over here will be deceptive. They will not fight from the front, while Mars, because he is exalted, this person will have the tendency to say everything from the front, and he will be very virtuous. So there will be this thing that this person will have to learn, that he has to, I'm not saying that he should be deceptive with people, but he has to observe people, and very carefully, because he should expect that people will be deceptive, and he should observe very carefully this nature, this behavior of his competitors, and he should be prepared for such deceptive behavior from his enemies. So this was my analysis on exalted Mars being placed in the 12th house for the Aquarius Ascendant. If you like this episode, please don't forget to press the like button, and please share this episode. This is very important for me. This is Vishal Sathye signing off for now. Bye.